Hi guys, I hope you can see this. It's kind of hard for me to get it to work right. There it is, a little bit better. It's a GPS and here's a car. And so I asked you a question, can you get where you want to go? So if this was a car and you were trying to go to New York, you would follow this GPS and it would get you there, right? But there are a couple other things that are necessary in the midst of that. Now, if you were with me on Sunday, and if you were also with me on last Wednesday, I started out asking, do you know what you want? And then I asked you about a step that you can take about writing down the vision of what you want, what you're believing God for. And tonight I want to take it just a step further. And I want to just challenge you to ask yourself, do you really believe you can get what you want? It sounds easy, but it's not as easy necessarily as it sounds. But I want to answer it right out the gate. And that is, God said, Jesus said, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believe. If thou canst believe. And first he said, this is the first step, all things are possible with God. So let me just settle that if what you want, what you desire, this dream in your heart, whether it's a new home, whether it's to pay off your home, whether it's to get a business started, whether it's to get a better job, whether it's to go back to school and get your degree, whether it's to start a ministry, whether it is to start a family, whether it's to get out of debt, to be financially free, whether it is to have a healthy body, if it's like what I wanted, to get overweight and lose 70 pounds. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is, Jesus said all things are possible with him. So let's start there. Number one, if you are in the will of God, in other words, you're not asking something that's outside of the will of God. Now, so we know that you don't want to take somebody's husband or take somebody's wife, okay? I know you don't. You wouldn't be listening to me if you did. So you already know that's not the will of God. So no, you won't get that. And if you did, that wouldn't work out. But if you want a husband or if you want a wife, and let's say that years have passed and it looked impossible and it looked like it could not happen, I want to challenge you that Jesus said all things are possible with God, okay? So settle that. And in case you need that scripture, it's found in Matthew 19 and verse number 26, okay? So when I talk to you about vision and dreams, and remember we talked about without a vision, you perish. So let's just settle this. Your life is not going to go to another level. You'll never move from where you are. You'll never come out of that rut that we talked about. You always stay where you are if you don't get a vision. And we hear the word goal, and goal is in different translations in the Bible. But there has to be something that you're focusing on. There has to be a destination. You know, when you have a GPS, it doesn't work if there's not a place to where you're going. I mean, if you just have a GPS and there's no place that you want to arrive, it can't serve you. And so God helps us to understand that in order for me to move you along in your life, he said there has to be a vision. Without a vision, you will perish, you will not make progress, you'll go back, you'll stop, you won't accomplish it because you got to see where you're going. That's number one. I've got to know, where do I want to go? There's some things I'm believing God for. And, I wrote this book and it's just so powerful. Get Overweight, How to Win in the Weight Battle and Win at Life. I wanted to get these 70 pounds off me. And, the key was I had to first just decide I wanted to get the 70 pounds off me. Now, I know for somebody that may sound like it can't be that simple. It's not that simple, but it can't be done without that. And let me just testify to it. I've lost weight pretty much all my life. I've always battled with it. But I have never in my life until 2016 set a goal for how much I really wanted to weigh. Never have done it. And as a result, I would lose some weight and then go back, lose some weight and go back. Why? Because I didn't have my GPS set on where was the arrival place. And so I want you to really hear me, and this book will change your life. Go to laurapickett.org, get a copy of it. I have an arrival place. And I just want to say that that's why I shared on last week to write the vision. There, you got to get clear on where do you want to arrive, because if you don't, you'll never know how to get there. But my focus tonight is to encourage you that you can get there. If you've written the vision, you know where you want to go, you can get there. And here's a key. First, number one, know that all things are possible with God. So yes, you can get there. But it doesn't stop there. There's one more key. And Jesus gave us this key. And it is found in Mark 9:23. And this is what it said. It's one of my favorite scriptures. And it says, with God, it says, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believe. Now, why do I bring it up? Because when we were reading about writing the vision last week in Habakkuk, remember, let me read that scripture of what it says in Habakkuk. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. So, you know, if you were going, say, to California, and you were going to drive, which most people wouldn't do that, but if you were, and you put in the GPS, or even if the flight man put in the GPS, there's a time to get there. You don't just put it in and then there you are. I couldn't just, write down I wanted to lose these 70 pounds and then there I was. No, it takes time, okay? So the vision or that goal or whatever you're believing God for is for, listen, an appointed time. There's a time that you will arrive there. But listen to what else it says. It says, but it hastens to the end, fulfillment, and it will not deceive or disappoint. You will not be disappointed. And though it tarry, wait for it. Listen, for it will, because it will surely come. Did you catch it? It will surely come. It has to come. So I have to believe that it has to come. Now, God didn't want us to miss this. After he said that, and it says, and I'm reading the Amplified Classic, it said, it will surely come and it will not be behind on its appointed day. So although it may not be when we want it, there's an appointed day, God says, that it will show up and it won't be behind. Well, I don't know about you. That's shouting news. There's some things I'm working on right now. And, I feel like they're kind of behind the appointed time. But I read and I keep myself encouraged. I watch my GPS and I know it doesn't matter that it hadn't come yet. There is an appointed time. When I wanted to lose the 70 pounds, I shared, after a year, I wanted to be off. I got 50 off. Do you know it took me 2 more years to get the 20 more off? But it doesn't matter. Why? There was an appointed time. And, I just feel the Lord saying to me right now that he knows when the right time is. Sometimes we want things and we're not ready for them. Hallelujah. I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to somebody right now. We're not ready for what's ready for us. We're not ready to handle it. You may right now say you want a bigger, beautiful house. Let's say it costs a lot more than where you're living. Let's say you got taxes you got to deal with, maintenance you got to deal with, repairs, whatever. You got to furnish it. You got to keep it clean. Well, it sounds good. I want this big house. I'm ready. But God knows when we're ready. He knows the appointed time. Because, he doesn't want you to move in and then have to move back out. No, he wants you to keep making progress, GPS, get there and stay there and move on to higher things. So there's an appointed time. But the catch is found in the bottom of that Habakkuk chapter 2. After he says this, then he says, the just, listen to me now, shall live by faith. The Message translation, listen to me good, says through loyal and steady believing. Hear that. Through loyal and steady believing. One of the greatest things that I have learned in my life's journey as I believe God for different things is that you've got to stay in faith. You got to stay committed. You got to stay loyal. You got to believe no matter what it looks like, no matter how long it takes. Remember God said, though it tarry, wait, for it is surely. I hear the Lord saying that somebody has missed out on some things he had for you because you just didn't wait long enough. Are you listening to me? When I think about it, I wanted to get married quicker than I did. I was 27 and something, and I know in this age that sounds young. That was 30, almost 40 years ago, of course. But I wanted to get married, but I wasn't ready. God knows when we're ready. My point is there's an appointed time, and he knows what's best. But the catch, number 2 catch is I must believe. I must have faith. You know, that word believe is close to the word faith. And it means the actual Greek word for believe in Mark 9:23 means to have faith. It means to be persuaded. I'm looking at that definition. It means to place confidence in. But here's another definition. It means to make a commitment. I made a commitment to myself. I'm going to get these weights off me. I don't care how long it takes. Go to laurapickett.org, get a copy. This will change your life. I made a commitment. I actually wrote this book without the money to pay for it. Now, let me just bring that up. Nobody, listen to me, sits down and writes a 300 and some page book without a way to pay for it, without faith that God's going to make it happen. And I bring this up because you have to believe. And when it doesn't look like it's going to happen, when it looks impossible, when everything is coming against you, you must hold fast and believe and stay steady and stay in faith that what I am believing for, I can have it and I will have it. Why? Because all things are possible with God. He's on my side. I'm in his will. I'm not asking for something he doesn't want me to have. And number 2, he said out of his own mouth that all things are possible to him that believe. Now, don't miss that. All things are not possible. And that word possible, listen to me, it means that it's able. It means powerful enough. It means the strength is there. Remember when I told you that you have abilities and capabilities? You got to take the cap off. You got to know, I'm about to preach now. You got to know if God has put a dream on the inside of you, the ability to get there is there. If he's put it in your heart, the way has already been made. You got to now wait. You got to stay in faith. You got to stay committed. You got to do whatever he's telling you to do to get there. It doesn't mean we lay back and do nothing. It means we work, we stay in faith, and we believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that what he has promised, he's able to perform it. I pray you heard me. In my book, I talk about keep your GPS on because that's one of the steps to getting to your goal. I didn't know this secret. The world had learned this secret. God gave the secret. Write the vision. Make it plain. It's on the way. And I made that decision in 2016 to write what I was believing for. It was scary. It looked impossible. But I'm telling you, God did it. He began, oh my God, to direct me. He took the GPS and began to show me every step to take to get where he had told me I could go. And I want you to know that as soon as you believe, as soon as you write that vision, you're clear about it, you know where you want to go, God, turn your GPS on and keep it because he's going to direct your path. And no matter how long it takes, if you keep in faith, keep believing, acting on what he's telling you to do, you will arrive at your destination. I pray this blessed you. I hope you know how much I love you. I love you. I love you. Go to laurapickett.org. You can get a copy of Get Overweight. You can join that mentorship program. It will bless your life. My book on faith coming versus now faith will bless you. And I want to thank all of you so much for following me on Facebook. Thank you so much for all the love, for your comments, for your likes, for sharing. It means everything to me. It means you're helping me spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. And he is so awesome and great. And I just want to share it with everyone. So thank you so much. Thank you also for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you for following me on Instagram. And there are a lot more things to come. I'm excited about what God is doing in this season. And I'm telling you, get ready for him to do great things in your life. I love you so much. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.